If you find it difficult to follow the seemingly complicated of my work, do not be angry with me, but pity me for the troubles I have endured. I wished every conclusion I presented through tests and calculations that I repeated hundreds of times. It just took me 5 years to determine the orbit of Mars. Johannes Kepler was born in Germany 1571. While he didn't have a good family, he has an excellent school life. At the first, mostly he interested in theology, but in university life he affected science and math. Then he learned and adopted Copernicus' heliocentric system. Also, he was a very successful person after the university. For instance, at the age of 23, Kepler was a scholar at the University of Greece. After that, he quickly became a real mathematician. However, he had to leave his job and the city due to the religious controversies. This was an important point of Kepler's life, because when he left the city, he met Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe was a famous astronomer in last years of 16th century, and he had an observatory. This was a great chance for Kepler to work on astronomy. But there was a little problem. Tycho Brahe was against the heliocentric system. According to him, planets rotate around the sun and sun rotates around the world. Nevertheless, Tycho Brahe died in 1601, and all of his legacy, including observatory and all measurements, left to Kepler. Astrology was one of the most important things in these centuries. Almost every kings and nobles have owned astrologers to predict the future. And Kepler made a living by reading horoscopes for nobles too, so he carried the astrology. Additionally, he was seeking the geometrical perfection when he observed the heavens. However, while he was observing the Mars orbits to find the geometrical perfection, he discovered Mars orbits are elliptical. It is known as first law of Kepler. Kepler's second law is that planets' speed has changed on different points of its orbit. For instance, planets move faster as it gets closer to the Sun. Kepler wrote these two laws in New Astronomy book in 1609. 9 years later, Kepler created his third law. It's known as harmonic law. It is basically squares the time it takes a planet to complete its orbit is proportional to cube of the planet's distance from the Sun. These laws created the fundamental of the modern astronomy.